Hello and welcome to the old Fliers. In my recent video entitled Many Claim Invention of the Aircraft Aileron, I listed more than a dozen inventors who claim to be the father of the aileron. The name aileron from the French means little wing. Among the word's earliest printed use in the context of aviation was that in the French aviation journal L'Aérophile in 1908. Prior to that, ailerons were often referred to more descriptively as horizontal rudders. Of all these potential inventors of the aileron, I couldn't go back further than 1868 to a chap called Matthew Piers Watt Boulton. His British patent number 392, aerial locomotion, etc., predates the Wright Brothers' first flight by 35 years. The Wrights demonstrated control in all three axes, though they used wing warping for lateral control, not ailerons. Boulton's aileron system was first used in manned flight by Robert Esnault-Pelterie in 1904. Boulton's numerous studies and patents, besides the aileron flight control system, included various types of motive power engines and their components such as propellers and pumps, plus other works on solar, heat, photography and more. A busy chap. Boulton's 1868 patent's full introductory description reads, "For the invention of improvements in propulsion and in aerial locomotion and in apparatus connected therewith." End of quote. The completed patent document is 20 pages long. Almost all early airplane builders were hindered by fundamental lack of understanding of aerodynamics. One of the earliest professional wind tunnels was in the Catholic University of America, installed in 1901. Boulton's Wikipedia entry is one of the most extensive I have ever read. Who was this visionary man? Matthew Piers Watt Boulton was born in 1820 in Most Old Norton, Staffordshire, in England. Boulton's grandfather, Matthew Boulton, and James Watt had perfected the steam engine during the 1770s, which soon set off the Industrial Revolution in England and later the rest of the world. His prosperous family included many gifted individuals. Boulton attended a private school in Royal Leamington Spa. Then he studied the classics, philosophy and sciences at Eton. In October 1838, Boulton entered Trinity College, Cambridge, where he undertook studies of mathematics, logic and the classics, graduating with his BA in 1845. With the death of his father in 1848, he inherited the large fortune created by his father's and grandfather's enterprises, permitting him a comfortable life. He had little desire to continue his family's businesses, which he subsequently closed, disposing of their assets by sale. His financial independence allowed him to pursue studies and writings as a philosopher-scientist on a wide variety of subjects. He earned over a dozen patents for multiple inventions, many of them for aircraft propulsion systems. At least one patent was assigned to American George Westinghouse Jr., the American industrial tycoon. Boulton's achievements were recognised in 1911 in Britain's leading aviation magazine Flight, titled Two Interesting Patents, and later by aviation historian C.H. Gibbs-Smith, the first aileron. He acknowledged Boulton's priority of invention, stating that if the 1868 patent had been revealed at the time of the Wright Brothers' legal filings, they might not have been able to claim the priority of invention for the lateral control of flying machines. The pioneering US aeronautic engineer Charles Manley in 1916, while addressing the Society of Automotive Engineers, referred directly to Boulton's invention, telling the audience, "The system of lateral balancing of control now so universally used is that of supplementary planes now called ailerons." The description he gave of these in his British patent was thorough and clear. It is the first record we have of appreciation of the necessity for active lateral control as distinguished from the passive lateral equilibrium secured by having wings set at a dihedral angle. With this invention, we have the birth of the present-day three-torque method of airborne control. The only thing then lacking in 1868 to enable man to learn to operate flying machines was the one great organ, a suitable engine. End of quote. The aileron system Boulton created was to be actuated by either a hand-operated control, not illustrated on the patent's drawings, or by an automatic pendulum control device depicted on the patent's drawing sheet, with the intended function of a single-axis autopilot. The pendulum control was flawed. Boulton saw gravity as acting on the pendulum to stabilize an aircraft, not realizing that centrifugal forces would prove a greater influence. Boulton's inspiration for a lateral flight control device has been attributed to French Count Ferdinand Charles Honore Philippe of d'Esterno, whose detailed analysis of flapping and soaring bird flight. Du vol des Désirs on the flight of birds was published as a pamphlet in 1864. Although Boulton's prescient aileron control system was fully functional, he, as did almost everyone in his era, lacked a detailed understanding of aerodynamics, and an airplane he designed never achieved flight. Nowhere in the patent is there a description of mounting the ailerons on the trailing edges of an aeroplane's wings, where it would have induced adverse yaw, but only on arms projecting from the vessel laterally. End of quote. Indeed, the first aileron, used by Robert Esnault-Pelterie in 1904, were mounted into wing, not on the trailing edges of the rudder of the glider's wings, where they would have created unequal aileron drag. There are still conflicting claims today over who first invented the aileron. Other 19th century engineers and scientists, including Charles Renault, Alphonse Pénaud, and Louis Moulliard, had described similar flight control surfaces, possibly serving as further inspiration to Boulton aside from Count L'Esterno. Another technique for lateral flight control, wing warping, was also described or experimented by several people, including Jean-Marie Le Bris, John Montgomery, Clement Ader, Edson Gallaudet, D.D. Wells, and Hugo Matelard. Ailerons were later repatented in the United States by Glenn Curtis of the Aerial Experiment Association in about 1911. Matthew Piers Watt Boulton died in London in 1894, aged 73. Gone but not forgotten. Thank you for watching. Comments welcome, as is liking and subscribing.